difference between me and you. You a peon and I'm a fact. You a peon and I'm beyond. My name always stay up in somebody's mouth just like a yawn. I be up early before dawn, get something done.
Make sure y'all go check out Low Key Ferg's music. He just dropped The Alchemist on YouTube. I'm gonna leave a link pinned in the comments so y'all can head over there if you're feeling a little of what you just heard. Follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Low Key Ferg. That's LOKIFERG. Show him some love.
While we going that long, this is my last year on this, bro. I don't like YouTube no more. I done saved up a couple dollars. And this is the third month. And I got 9 months left to make as much money as I can. I don't want to be on here no more, bro. I'm on here with hating ass who just hate on me all day for no reason. I'm getting into it. It's getting me out my character. At the end of the day, I came on this dad. I should have stayed on this dad. So all money ain't even good money. And then I get on this. I don't even got the fire for it no more, bro. I don't even like it. I been wanting to quit last year. I told you I was going to give y'all 3 good years, man. No cap. So I'm just starting to see what life is, and my life very fine without it. I go live on Instagram. My life very fine.
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, after 2 whole weeks, your boy King AK-47 actually broke his silence. As y'all know, he hasn't been on YouTube in like 2 weeks as he described, because he done transformed and went over there to Instagram for whatever reason, and I'm sure pretty much he's probably getting paid over there, or he just want to move the platform and do something different. But he announced that as of December 31st of this year, he will be getting off YouTube. Now, he described for a few reasons. I believe one of them with him saying that he's kind of tired of the whole, not being able to spend time with his family, worrying about, the YouTube stuff and getting into beef with guys over stuff that people are going to be selective about anyway. So he announced to his audience that 9 times out of 10, he'll be getting off of YouTube come the end of this year. Now, I get what he's saying first and foremost. We're going to get into everything he spoke about because he did make a few good points. Some points that we actually spoke about as well within our videos when it comes to the whole Bayzoo situation. As y'all know, Tay Savage, and just that whole situation in general when it comes to Lil Durk, Bayzoo, and King Von. And one thing I always tell y'all, I know a lot of people disagree with King AK-47 sometimes, even we do. And it just is what it is. You're not going to agree with somebody 24/7. Even with us, I'm sure there's a bunch of people that don't agree with what we say. And that's okay. Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody also has their own platform. And what y'all got to realize sometimes is that even though you disagree with somebody or you may not rock with their platform, clearly if they got a whole bunch of subscribers or whatever the case may be, there's somebody that's watching. There's somebody that's tuned in. There's somebody's paying attention. There's somebody that agree with them. So this is what I mean by when somebody says something 1 or 2 times, it don't mean you dismiss them. Sometimes you got to pay attention to the message and not the messenger. With that being said, we're going to get into a few points that he made. A couple that we actually shared before in the past as well that I want to double down on because I don't think people get it. We're going to start off with these guys that's always targeting bloggers, saying that we doing this, we doing that, F the bloggers. Listen, let me tell y'all, a lot of these guys that y'all hear about, the only reason y'all hear about them is because of us. They like to say this about bloggers, and I said this on live plenty of times. But these guys like to discredit bloggers. Oh, bloggers this, you're indicting this, you're incriminating this. But the content that a lot of us share is the content that these guys put out there. A lot of us wouldn't have content if it wasn't for what they put out there in the first place. And this is why I always say, stay off social media with the street stuff. A lot of these guys incriminate themselves. Let me tell you, these rappers done incriminated themselves so bad that law enforcement actually has a task force. They actually has a task force now strictly for social media. I forgot the Philadelphia rapper name, right? But he was one of those real rappers that he got caught up in the store. And when he got caught up and he was looking through his paperwork, he says he's been hit with an Instagram indictment, which is crazy. So now they're indicting guys strictly off of social media. And you would think guys would say, you know what? Well, I ain't saying too much no more. I'ma just get my money. I'ma focus on music, taking care of my family. No, they still on social media incriminating themselves. So once again, this goes back to when I say these guys try to discredit the bloggers. A lot of the times you wouldn't hear about a lot of these guys if it wasn't from us. You're not hearing about these guys on Shade Room. You're not seeing them on TV. You're not seeing them on CNN, Fox, Baller Alert. You're not seeing them on that stuff. When you hear about some of these guys, it's only because we tell y'all, we related. But the way some of these guys act, you would think they got chart-topping songs, #1 platinum hits on Billboard. You know, and some of these guys got to humble themselves. Because as fast as it come, or you think it came, it could be gone as well. But the moral of the story is, we get discredited, but a lot of the times, we are the ones that keep these guys relevant. You know, and it is what it is. You know, you got some YouTubers that actually are fans, they actually put up with it. But I think some of these guys need to know their worth and stop going for it. You know, put some standards down. Now, another point that he made when he spoke on the whole Bayzoo situation, where he made a point about people crucifying King Ella for telling, but Bayzoo did pretty much the same thing and nobody's saying anything about Zoo. You know, now, not once did I bring up the King Ella reference before because I was more focused on the facts that was told to us through media about the crime being pinned on King Von. Once again, I don't use the snitch word loosely, so I leave that up to y'all all the time. But if asked, I would say according to how I was brought up and the technicalities of things, you don't blame nothing on nobody, whether dead or alive, and you never ever speak to police. Simple, right? Now, people love to say, well, you know, you don't know for sure if they did this or did that. Well, the prosecutor did say if King Von was alive, more than likely he would be found guilty. And nobody asks these questions no more because even if you don't believe that any of them put the crime on King Von, there's other questions you could ask, right? Like, what was said or done to make the prosecutors feel like that? What motion was put in? What was filed? Like, what was said? What made them come to that determination? Because they said it was up to prosecutorial, right? I think I said that right. Yeah, prosecutorial discretion. All right, what made them come to that discretion? What's the evidence? What's the statements? What's the anything? You know, they just told us that and that was it. Everybody forgot about it. And once again, I always tell y'all, we living in a world where the attention spans of everybody is the size of a peanut. So one thing can happen, next you know, the next day something else happens because we living in a world where things are just happening back to back. Next you know, we forget about that and then boom, that's it. But in that situation, I don't like to harbor on it because once again, it's something that we can't confirm and it's just wasted energy on it. Whether you think that they did it or they put the crime on King Von, who knows? You're never going to be able to sit there and actually prove it. So it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's one of them things where I guess it's content, so you talk about it and just let it go. You know, but when it comes to the King Ella situation and you compare it to Bayzoo, I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty much the same thing. But that's if you're going over technicality. If you're not, then it just is what it is. But as we know, people get selective and it just is what it is, man. I tell y'all one thing, you're never going to win on the internet. The internet is the internet for a reason. Everybody has opinions. Everybody feel that their opinion is right. It is what it is. But one thing I'm going to tell y'all, one thing I was told growing up, you just don't talk to police. And if you do, only thing it is to say is I want my lawyer. That's it. Now, moving on to the next point that King AK-47 spoke on, he talked about when he was on live with Tay Savage. Now, if y'all pay attention, Zoo put up that sacrificial lamb post on his Instagram story, and everybody thought that he was talking about Lil Durk. But I also said that I personally think, and this is not a fact, so I personally think he was talking about Tay Savage and Lil Durk. Because I guess at this point, AK is considered Bayzoo's op or his enemy, whatever, however y'all want to put that. It's the internet. To me, you can't have a beef on the internet, but some people do. It is what it is. But I guess that AK-47 will be considered Bayzoo's op. So with that post that he put up about the sacrificial lamb and no more laughing and stuff, I guess he was referring to Tay Savage being on live with AK-47, where he feels, yo, if you my boy, or we supposed to be affiliates, you shouldn't be on live laughing with my op or whoever AK is to him. And not only that, y'all gotta remember that him and Tay Savage had a little tension before, when everybody was comparing Tay Savage to King Von, and he came out and said, listen, there's only one King Von, nobody else. And he said a whole bunch of other stuff that I forgot, but it was a little friction at that point. So to see Tay Savage on live with AK-47 and laughing, and then you gotta remember too, when he said, if you do the crime, you must do the time. I don't think y'all paid attention. Now I caught that. I think AK-47 brought that up in the live as well. But when I watched that live, that's one thing I paid attention to, because I was kind of iffy about that too. He laughed and said, if you do the crime, you gotta do the time. And I found that kind of interesting, because whether he did, mean something by it, whether he did or did not mean to target Bayzoo with it, it's just certain things you just don't say out of common courtesy, like I explained in the last video. Even with Durk, when he put that post up about negative energy, if he wasn't referring to Bayzoo, cool. But there's a time for everything. And you don't do something where people are going to allude to other things if you don't mean to allude to other things, if you get what I'm saying. So at that point right there, it was just either bad timing, or he did mean that he was talking about Zoo. But who knows? It just is what it is. Right now, it's a lot going on. I see OTFDD put up an interesting post where I'm sure he's referring to the bloggers. He would take to the Instagram story and say, quote, rumors be created by haters, spreaded by lames, and believed by D-riders. Keep this in mind. Then I seen Tay Savage say something about, on the internet, it's a bunch of guys that work in regular job, 9 to 5s, talking about snitching and what's not. Let me tell y'all something. You got convicts and guys that done did 20, 25 years, 30 years and come out and get jobs. That don't mean nothing. It just means that they trying to get off the street. And just because you have a 9 to 5 don't mean that you don't know anything about the streets. I know guys that never been caught that got a 9 to 5, but they were in the streets. They know about the streets, they were in the streets, but they just chose to go a different route. You get in and then you get out. Anyway, I say all that to say this. Ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 for people that work it. It's just that it's a lot of things these days that the lines are blurred. It's a lot of selectivity going on. And it just is what it is. That's why you can't win on the internet. Everybody has opinions and people going to choose sides. It just is what it is. Now that's pretty much it. I just want to speak on and piggyback on a few things that AK said in his live. And like I said, he did announce that he will be getting off of YouTube, I guess at the end of this year, but he is active on Instagram. And yeah, man, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all this, about all the snitching allegations, just everything going on. Y'all let us know how you feel about this in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. And I'm out.